Tasha and Malik started the same job on the same day, at the same $65,000 salary. 15 years later, Malik is still clocking in every morning. Tasha just gave her 2 weeks' notice for good. Malik was always the responsible one, never the flashy vacations, never the impulse purchases Tasha sometimes made. On paper, he should be ahead of her, not 15 years behind her exit. But run the actual numbers, and the story flips in a way that has nothing to do with income, luck, or even how much either of them saved. It's about 4 specific numbers that quietly decided who actually got free, and Malik never checked a single one of them. I'm Alexandra, and I investigate where money actually goes, not where people assume it goes. Today, I'm opening the case file on Tasha and Malik's identical salary, year by year. And the 4th number is the one that decided this entire case. Stay to the end, because it's not the one either of them saw coming. Number 1. The fee drag nobody reads. Malik contributed faithfully to his $401k every paycheck for 15 years. He never once opened the fee disclosure page. Small plans often carry all-in fees well above 1%, quietly eaten from the balance every single year, invisible on any statement that doesn't break it down. A worker, contributing $9,000 a year for 35 years at a 7% gross return, would reach roughly $1,244,000 with no fee drag. Apply just a 0.80% fee drag, and the same contributions land closer to $1,045,000, nearly $200,000 gone to fees. Malik never saw itemized. Pull your 401k fee disclosure this week. If your all-in fee is above 0.5%, that's the first number costing you your exit date. Number 2. The lifestyle creep tax. Every raise Malik got over 15 years came with a slightly nicer car, a slightly bigger apartment. Nothing reckless, just more. Income and spending rise together for most people, almost invisibly, leaving the actual savings rate unchanged even as the paycheck grows. Households in the top 20% of earners often save less than 10% of their income due to inflated discretionary spending, according to Bureau of Labor. Statistics data, meaning bigger raises, frequently don't translate into a bigger gap between earning and saving. Before your next raise hits your account, decide the percentage that goes straight to investing before your lifestyle gets a vote. Number 3. The automation gap. Tasha automated every raise into her index fund the same week it happened. Malik meant to increase his contribution later. Later never came. The gap between people who automate savings increases and people who plan to do it manually is one of the most consistent predictors of long-term wealth divergence between otherwise identical earners. A worker capturing just their employer match but never increasing contributions beyond it leaves the single highest guaranteed return of their entire financial life sitting on the table, a typical 50%. Match on 6% of a $75,000 salary provides an immediate return that almost always outweighs any fee drag in the short term, yet most people never move past that baseline percentage for years. Set your contribution increase to automatic the same day you get a raise notice, not next month, the same day. Number 4. The Coast Fire number. Here's the number that actually settles this case. Both Tasha and Malik assumed retirement was about hitting a giant final number. It isn't. It's about hitting a much smaller number, much earlier. Coast Fire is the point where your existing investments, left completely untouched, will compound on their own into a full retirement number by a normal retirement age, meaning every dollar saved after that. Point is optional, not required. Because Tasha front-loaded, aggressive, low-fi contributions in her first 10 years and never let fees or lifestyle creep slow the compounding. She crossed her Coast Fire number years before Malik, who was still actively working just to catch up to a number he'd already technically passed. Had his fees and spending not quietly worked against him. Calculate your own Coast Fire number this month. It's often shockingly lower than the number you've been mentally chasing and once you cross it, every year after is a choice, not a requirement. Malik isn't lazy and Tasha isn't lucky. Neither of them made an obvious mistake. They just never checked the 4 numbers that quietly decided who got to choose their exit date and who's still waiting for permission. And here's the part that makes this case different from most financial comparisons. Nobody handed Tasha an advantage. She didn't earn more. She didn't get a lucky break, an inheritance, or a market call that happened to work out. Every single one of her 4 numbers was available to Malik the entire time, sitting in the same fee disclosure page. The same paycheck, the same employer match, the same compounding math. He just never opened the file. That's what makes this case genuinely uncomfortable to sit with. It's not a story about talent or luck. It's a story about which of 2 identical people happened to check 4 specific numbers and which one didn't. If Malik had pulled his fee disclosure in year 1, he might have saved himself close to $200,000 in silent fee drag. If he'd automated even 1 raise instead of promising himself, he'd get to it later. The automation gap alone could have closed years of the distance between him and Tasha's exit date. Neither of those decisions required a higher salary. They required about 10 minutes of attention once at the right moment. Tasha isn't smarter than Malik. She's not more disciplined in some abstract personality trait sense either. She simply made 4 decisions early, automated them so she'd never have to rely on willpower again, and then let 15 years of compounding do the rest of the work silently in the background while she lived her life. Malik is still a good saver. He still has a retirement account with real money in it, real years of contributions behind it. He isn't behind because he did something wrong. He's behind because he never ran the 4 numbers that would have shown him exactly how close he already was to the same freedom Tasha just walked into. The fee drag nobody reads, the lifestyle creep text, the automation gap, the coast fire number. 4 numbers all hiding in plain sight on paperwork most people skim past without a second look. 4 numbers that took an identical $65,000 salary and turned it into 2 completely different retirement dates. One already lived, one still being waited for. If you've never calculated your coast fire number, that's the one number to check today, not someday, today. Because it's often far closer than people expect once fees and lifestyle creep stop working against them. Subscribe if this changed how you'll look at your next raise or your next fee disclosure statement. And tell me in the comments, have you ever actually calculated it, and were you closer than you thought or further away than you assumed?